What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Happy Monday, March 24th. Welcome to another episode of Command. This time for our Monday live stream, joined by the two, I don't know, I need a nickname for you guys, man. I don't know what we're
You're the Asian persuasion.
I mean, for you guys.
Shake and bake.
You got to shake it before you bake it.
Shake and bake.
The magic man. Now you see me. Now you don't. Hi, Andrea. Hey, baby, how you doing? Yeah, joined by my guy Dev and Mr. Phil on the left. Let's crack.
So you're gonna be the Asian persuasion.
Back in the army, they called me.
Dev is gonna be the solo darkness brother.
They called me the Wasian persuasion.
How about Chitlin Negro? Oh, no. Honey baked. Honey baked chitlin. No.
Originally, my name on TikTok I had as Wasian Persuasions because I was half white and Asian. It just kind of stuck Wasian, but yeah.
Hey, what was it? What did Tiger Woods used to call himself? Kaplan Asian?
I don't know.
He was Kaplan Asian is what Tiger Woods used to refer to himself as.
What's up, Yam? Hey, Yam. I know I didn't preview this on X until recently, but for today's episode, we weren't doing Washington sports. I didn't have enough room to put the Mount Rushmore of Redskins, Washington football team, and Commanders. So I just said Washington, but really we were trying to keep his focus on Washington in general. But you have now.
No. I can do like the whole state of Washington.
No. But Yam in his has now given us an idea for another episode for a Top 5 Tuesday. So Yam,
I'll tell you what, you could that would be a
that's just Phil because I don't know no one.
It would be harder for Dev.
Yeah, it'd just be Ovi.
Ovi.
So one I can name.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper.
I mean, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Put it this way. If you're talking about the Wizards, you're gonna have to go back to the 70s. You have to go back to the old Bullets days. If you're talking the Nats, you only got to go through about 20 years.
Got Expos,
but the
Expos don't count because they didn't play here as the Expos.
I'll tell you what, we got like 45 minutes.
Hey, old joke from my elementary school days. Which of these is your favorite team? Do you like the Yankees or the Expos?
I'm a Yankees guy, big dog.
Yankees nuts. Anyway.
Still coming in from top.
That was what passed for humor in 1994.
He owes us, man, from the ass what we put on him last podcast.
Paul Rudd isn't just a great actor.
Yo, fuck this shit.
And I think we should all appreciate him more.
Ryan, we're going to talk about some Maryland here later on in the show. That was a fantastic way to end that game, but
somebody's been to Southern PG County,
Maryland. Uptown Dre, what's up? It's rock and roll time. What's up, my brethren? That music is dope. That's Dev on the music.
Here's the thing y'all don't realize. We used to be a foursome, not a trio, and Dev's original intro had bars,
had lyrics. It did have
actual lyrics to it.
It was dope.
But I love that beat. Like these guys probably, I don't even know if they know this, but you can see that little inside baseball. You can see everybody down at the bottom of the screen in our studio. And when the intro is playing, I'm always sitting here just bobbing my head. I love that beat. That is still one of my favorite beats of all time. Is our intro.
We'll have to bust out.
Sounds like I'm, just kind of self-flating ourselves here, but no.
Well,
first time I heard that intro track, I was like, when he previewed it for us, I was like, damn.
We could always switch it back to
if Rodney,
you want to play it one time?
If Rodney joins us for the draft, we should play it. Every time Rodney comes on the show for any Raiders reasons, we play that. Right.
Check this out. Here was the original
intro for those who don't know.
When we used to be the Washington Football X. Check it out.
We were the one.
Actually, I lied. I don't have
You
it.
played
queued
the
up.
wrong one.
I did because I don't have it. I don't have it queued up with the lyrics. I had to take that one out because
Jesus
of space.
Christ, because like that ain't it.
Yeah, that wasn't it. Because we have the college one he did. Another banging beat, by the way. But all good, all good. I'll freshen that one up and
I'm
we'll play
looking
it.
for one right now.
We'll play it. We'll say hi to some other people in the chat. Jack Attack, man. We about to start. Can't wait. Go Nats, man. I don't know. Team's rebuilding. We'll see what happens. Yeah,
I will be at
Dudley
opening
boys.
day. By the way, I will not be here.
It was a couple years where I went to Nats opening day 4 years in a row, man. I got to get back on my game because maybe I should go, Phil.
I'll be there.
I don't know. Yam hates Maryland, and a lot of that is due to DC Media Radio, especially 106.7 in the Junks, because they all sweat Maryland. That's probably why Yam doesn't like.
There's nobody else in college basketball to sweat in DC area.
Well, I mean, when Georgetown was, they've been good in a long time since Allen Iverson. So it's been a minute since Georgetown has been legit. Thank you, Jack. Love the intro, by the way. I think I got to get off my ass and make a new video cut because the last one we did, that was pre-Jaden. That was 2023. So I need to make one. I'll make it before the draft for the 2024 season with Jaden cut-ups because I just haven't done it with Jaden cut-ups. So we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out. But we're going to talk about today for the very first thing, our Mount Rushmore. I'm going to send out a couple tweets here. Our Mount Rushmore for the Washington Redskins, Commanders, and football team. So we've kind of done variations of this in the past where we named our, we have a top 5 Tuesday segment we do where we named our all-time favorite, I guess, personal favorite players from the franchise history. We've done a Mount Rushmore just for Washington football team and beyond. So 2020 and beyond, because
I got one, by the way.
It's such a small pool. Now we're opening up to the entire franchise history, top 4, plus a couple honorable mentions. What you got, Phil?
I got our intro. Our old intro. I got queued up.
You got it queued up? All right, play it real quick. Everyone, here's the old original intro that Dev made when we were forcing and we had lyrics. Go ahead.
It's from one of our barbershops, actually.
Share it up. And don't tag us because this is our stuff.
Yeah, we can't be copyrighted for our shit we own.
Here's the original.
You want me to sing the song, man?
That's all right.
I know we got this somewhere.
You got to go way back.
No, that was way back. The ones I went to before that didn't have an intro.
Yeah. Well, I have it on my computer.
That was episode 70 something.
It's all good. That's right around time when Roddy left, though. Around after the Saints game that year. So, but yeah. All right, guys. So as we're getting our Mount Rushmores ready, I want you guys to actually think about your Mount Rushmore. Now, remember, this is going all the way back. I mean, I don't know if you want to go back to 1932, when Boston Braves, became the Redskins, but go back as far as you want and as current as you want. This is the Mount Rushmore. This is the best of the best of the best of the best. And you only got 4 and a couple honorable mentions. So this is going to be hard. This is going to be very hard. And I challenge you to create your own as you wish. So without any further ado, I'm just gonna get this thing started. Here is where we're gonna try to get into it. We have our categories here. Like I said, this is Redskins, Washington, Commanders, and Washington football team. So it's going all the way back. And let's see how this goes. I'm excited. I want everyone to see what this is going to be about. And let's just go from there. So who wants to start us off with their number 4?
I'll go.
All right, Dev. Who's your number 4?
I forgot.
Oh, hold on. Dre has a question. Let's answer this question because it is kind of important. Are we adding coaches?
Hey, man, let that surprise happen, dog.
Okay, Dre, you guys can add coaches if you want because it's I'm not adding them to mine personally. I could, but I chose not to. This is your list. You can make it however you want it. I don't know if anyone. I don't know what their list is going to be. So that's kind of the fun of the game that we play. Is we don't know what we're going to say. It adds a little more dialogue to it. So that's an open-ended question, Dre. All right, Dev. Who's your number 4?
B. Mitch.
Whoa. I did not see that coming.
The NFL all-time leading yardage getter, dog. More real estate than anyone has ever put on a helmet in the NFL, bro. That's an argument to the greatest Redskins, Brian Mitchell, dog. B. Mitch, number 4, man.
Wow, that when you frame it that way, that's actually
no one's ran for more yards ran burgundy and gold than that guy.
No,
in any color. Period.
I know.
Any jersey color.
Very underrated. He'll probably never get into the Hall of Fame for whatever reason. Right?
I think he gets in 2000. Where we're at 20. I think he gets in 30. That's the year that they can the NFL people can get somebody in. I think that's the year he gets in.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, Devin Hester got in.
Yeah, he has better stats than Devin Hester outside the punt return, just touchdowns, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know, man.
He's the OG Hester. Still in his career more yards than Hester, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But what's the bias? Why did Hester get in and Brian Mitchell did not?
Also, he got something Hester don't have. 3 Super Bowls. It's a lot of crazy shit, dog. Brian got 2. Has he got 2 or 3?
Brian?
Yeah, he's got 3, right? 1?
No,
he's only got 1?
He's got the 91. That's it.
I thought he got 1 in 88 or whatever that one was.
No, he was a rookie in 90.
He was not on the 87 squad.
80 squad.
Yeah, he was not, unfortunately.
Hester ain't got 1.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Okay.
By the way, I think I've told the story before. I was at a Louisville versus Miami game back in whenever Hester played, and it was when Miami was the U, when they had Sean Taylor and all them fuckers, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ed Reed, all of them, and we were beating the shit out of them niggas, man. And we had the ball that punted with the game on the line. We punted the ball off with no time left, and then Hester ran that shit back to beat us with no time left. So I definitely have a sore spot for him.
He was dangerous, man.
Zero offensive player, by the way. He was a corner, and he didn't even start for Miami. That's how loaded them niggas were. I think the Miami had 5 defensive backs on that one team go pro. I think both corners, both safeties for sure. Taylor and Ed Reed went. But I think both corners went to Mike Rumpf, and they had another guy. I think they all went.
Yeah.
In the same draft, man. Devin Hester was so bad they put him on offense. They were so good on defense, they put that dude on offense because they couldn't figure out what to do with him.
He was that bad?
He was nice. He was a corner. Devin Hester was not a receiver in college. He got moved to receiver with the Bears because they had to put him on the field. They couldn't figure out how to do it. It's unbelievable how good that team was, man. It might be one of the best or most fun football teams I remember in college, man. It's Miami, man.
They were the bad boys, man.
I hated them, but
they were the bad boys. All right, Phil, what about you, man? Who's on your number 2? Or excuse me, number 4, sorry.
My number 4. This is one of the hardest lists to compile.
What's up, Jim? Good to see you.
But I'm going to have to put Mr. Sonny Jurgensen on.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
Wait, I don't even spell this right.
J-U-R. There you go.
I'm running out. It's the father.
Sonny. We know what the fuck you're talking about.
Sonny J. We know Sonny. All right. Why Sonny?
So
that purple stuff.
A lot of he played during the bulk of his career with Washington was not the best years in terms of records that his team had. Barely making it, even close to 500 some seasons. But he's a guy who still holds plenty of passing records for this team, despite that. The teams had 0 defense, but God, he had some of the most exciting offense ever. It was either going to be him or Sammy Ball. That would be my number 1 quarterback of all time for this team. But Sonny Jurgensen brought prestige back to Washington. People cared about Washington again when we traded for him. Here's the interesting thing. You'll never see this again. He was part of a quarterback for quarterback swap with the Eagles. As people realize, we traded away Norm Snead, who was a very capable quarterback, for Sonny Jurgensen. And there's some other stuff that was involved, but that was the main crux of the trade. And Sonny was he balled out. I mean, he had Bobby Mitchell and Charlie Taylor, wide receiver. Both of those guys are Hall of Famers. Jerry Smith, who, until Cooley and Reed and some others came by, was by far the greatest receiving tight end this team had ever seen. Yeah. So, and then later on, you got guys like Larry Brown at running back, things like that, guys who can catch the ball out of the backfield. Sonny could throw the ball in ways that guys like him, if you given him, you take a guy with his talent, modern training, and all that, would still play well in this era. He was well ahead of his time, playing against defenses that could do a lot more to wide receivers and putting up, more modern looking numbers compared to a lot of quarterbacks in that era. So Sonny Jurgensen did a lot to revitalize interest in Washington football, which I think eventually led to guys like, bringing in a coach like Vince Lombardi, who unfortunately was only here for 1 year, and then George Allen after that. So yeah, after, Washington went 2 straight seasons winning, where I think they won. No, I'm sorry. They were won 1 game in 2 straight seasons before that. So, to talk about a man who lifted a franchise on his shoulders, Sonny Jurgensen's that guy. I was so glad to see when he got his number retired. That's a guy who definitely deserved it.
By the way, Washington might actually be one of the only teams in the NFL that you could do a Mount Rushmore with no quarterback. If there is one, like if the majority of people in the world that weren't legit Washington fans pick, there's a chance that most of them don't even have a quarterback on there. And I don't think there's another team.
It's because a lot of people it's a recency bias. We haven't had a franchise quarterback
since Theismann. Well, now
a Hall of Fame quarterback since Sonny Jurgensen.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing I'll say with Sonny too is that I also extended an influence beyond just his time as a player. Before, I know a lot of people only remember his later years when his mental faculties were starting to kind of go. But I grew up on Sonny, Sam, and Frank on the radio. I didn't get to watch every Washington game as a kid because my parents worked on the weekends. My mom had a business, and all the work was done on the weekends. We'd be out on the car a lot. So I grew up listening to Sonny, Sam, and Frank, and there will never be a better radio trio than those three. And the banter between Sam and Sonny was always great because it was always Sam saying something half ridiculous, and then Sonny kind of calling them out on it. And it was in a friendly way. It was never like mean spirited. But it was Sonny was beyond his playing days one of those voices for a lot of people who had to listen to radio like me. It was back in the day too. You didn't have NFL Sunday Pass, things like that. You had to listen on the radio. If you're living up in Pennsylvania, you're living out in West Virginia, you don't necessarily get DC TV, but you can get the radio.
Yeah, there's no Sunday ticket back then, but no.
Nope.
There's no Sunday ticket back then. You didn't have none of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, going beyond that, there you go. Sonny Jurgensen as a player and as a commentator.
He's
as a great ambassador for. And think, how many times were you watching the game 30 years into or so on from him becoming a broadcaster? He'd be up in the booth, and you're watching the game, and they showed him in the booth with that big old number 9 cigar.
Yeah.
Because he had his own line of cigars too, and I gotta respect the man who did that.
They let him go a little too long on broadcasting, to be honest with you. You could just tell towards the end there he just wasn't right with Chris Cooley. They probably should have pulled him a couple years earlier than let him go, but I get it. Sonny was great. That's a good pick.
Cooley's always had nothing but like just tons of respectful things to say about.
100%. There was just times he was lost. You could tell he was lost in the game. Didn't know, the age was just getting to him. That's all.
He was old as he was old as hell, but like I said, that's why I think that a lot of people don't remember when him and Sam Huff were both sharp. What age got to you that them with Frank Herzog and even early on with Larry Michael. I mean, they were kind of carrying Larry Michael.
Yeah, and you could always watch the highlights on the Sports Machine. George Michael's Sports Machine Sunday night.
No. I'm talking about Larry Michael, not George Michael.
No, I'm saying you could, but yes, it was at a time that you could watch the Sports Machine and watch all the highlights.
Religious.
Oh my gosh,
religious watcher of the Sports Machine, especially because they always showed clips from like wrestling pay-per-views.
Yeah,
and my parents were not buying back in the day because
got a couple comments.
Expensive.
Yam has Joey. Now these don't have to be in like priority order. We're not saying like your number one's the best. You know what I mean? The Mount Rushmore is the Mount Rushmore. So I'm just saying you can put them whatever order you want. But for everyone else, Yam's got Joe Theismann, Daryl Green, John Riggins, and Gibbs. He's putting Gibbs on there. So Yam did choose to put a coach on there. That's all good. Phil Bullock, thanks for popping in, man. He said Hester's better, just keeping it real. This goes back to Dev, Hester versus B. Mitch. So Ryan, Alfred Morris, healthy. He's on his number 4. 29 touchdowns in 4 years, 4,500 yards in 4 years.
He's probably 25 or some shit though. Ryan,
had he stayed though, man, I never seen someone fall off as far as Alfred Morris did. Jay Gruden just did not like him his last year, and then I don't know, man. Florida Atlantic, right? Florida Atlantic guy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
6th round pick. Or undrafted, I can't remember. I know he
had him. What's that quarterback that had the white? I remember they played against Louisville and fucked us up that one year in college. He played him.
I think he's a Florida Atlantic guy.
Yeah, I forgot who the quarterback is. I think he went to Jacksonville. What's it? Gabbert? Was Blaine Gabbert? Was that
Blaine Gabbert? Blaine Gabbert. Yeah, Blaine Gabbert went to Jacksonville. He got drafted by Jacksonville.
Yeah, I remember I had him in college. They was like, that dude, man, he looked like Jesus.
Yeah.
Against one game.
Josh Butcher from Facebook. What's up, Josh? Art Monk, Daryl Green, John Riggins, and Russ Grimm. Russ Grimm sighting. There we go.
Russ is a Hall of Famer.
One of the original Hogs. Ryan says Larry Michael, Dan Snyder.
I thought he was saying Dan Snyder's on there.
I had to cycle through this. Good job, Ryan. Jim Sleazy says,
there's a clip to this day of my friends and I site where Larry Michael's going. He's all excited. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. We do that to this day.
Jim
and
Sleazy
I cannot
says,
find that clip to save my life, and I don't know where it is. I remember LeVar and Dukes used to make fun of that all day long. Back when 106.7 was not the flagship of the Redskins, so they always kind of took shots at the other guys because it was the other station.
Yep. A little rivalry that it was the team, it was ESPN 980, whatever you want to call it. Jim's got Doug Williams at number 4, doesn't have the numbers, but he was the first. That's an argument that people make for a long time.
Number 4, man.
My number 4, yeah, I know we're just talking about everything else but my shit. My number 4, I got John Riggins at my number 4, man. John Riggo is going to be at my number 4. Just, the Diesel, they called him the Diesel for a reason. Just change the game with regards to how the ball should be run. He was just hard nosed. I mean, nothing that to me, and you guys have seen the clip a billion times, the game versus, was it the Dolphins game where he's just plowing over people. So he finished with 11,352 yards. Not a huge rush per attempt, 3.9, but he had 104 touchdowns. I believe he originally started out as a fullback, unless he was classified a fullback his entire career. I mean, the man they had him listed at, when he played, 6'2", 230. That's not even, that's big, but that's big for a running back. It's not, he looks bigger than 230, in my opinion.
He was really 230 was what he probably was when he was the Jets. He was a little bit bigger.
Yeah, when he first came in the league.
It was also, here's the thing. This is also a time in which, first of all, we had the Hogs in front of him. Jeff Bostic was a 255-pound center.
Yeah. Tiny
now,
guy.
Russ Grimm was about 280 or so. Mark May was about 280, 290. George Stark was about 270. So 230 for a running back relative to, 230 to a running back now. And look at how they have in front of them. It's all 330-pound guys in front of them. So, also Riggo was a track star at the University of Kansas. That's the thing that amazes me. Is that guy?
Back when colleges had white track stars.
It's back when one of
back in the day.
Had Moxie track stars on the team.
Moxie. So John Riggins in 1983, he had 1,347 yards and 24 touchdowns. Had they not, so they won the Super Bowl that year.
They didn't.
'83.
They won the year before. That was the year. That was the strike year they won the Super Bowl. The year after we went to the Super Bowl and lost. 83 season ended in 84. The 83 Super Bowl was the end of the 82 season.
So Rigo did barely play that year then. And
No, he didn't. He definitely played because he carried us through the playoffs. He had over 400 yards rushing.
So
he had insane numbers, over 500 yards rushing. I know that in 4 games.
The 1983 season, he had 24 touchdowns, 1,347 yards, and Joe Theismann was so January 3rd. Okay, I'm the way the stats are written. It says in 1983 he had 1,400 yards and 24 touchdowns.
That was the 83 season.
Yeah, that's what I said. You said it was the 82 season.
No. I said 82 season when we won the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. So the 83 season, Rigo had the best season of his career.
Sorry.
And now I'm confused because Theismann also won the MVP of 1983. So
yes.
So that was the Super Bowl year from the 82-83 season. Theismann won the MVP.
No, that was the year Mark Mosley won the MVP.
Because it says 1983 is Joe Theismann.
Okay, you have to understand when you win the Super Bowl in a year,
it's the year after
the end of the season. Yeah. So we won the Super Bowl technically in January of 1983.
Yeah, but like in 92 we beat the Bills.
Yeah.
37-24.
But it's the 91 season.
But the 83 season was given to
Super Bowl and lost to the Raiders.
Joe Theismann still won the MVP.
Joe Theismann was the MVP, but Joe Theismann also threw 29 touchdowns that year.
What I'm saying is Riggins could have been a qualifier for that as well with his 1,400 yards and 24 touchdowns.
He was in the voting, and so was Mosley again.
Yeah,
because Mosley had something like insane. I think it was like 160 points as a kicker. It was insane. We scored. Here's the thing. That team scored 541 points that year. That was, 541. Oh, it was a record, and it was not broken until the 98 Vikings.
Good stuff. All right. Phil Bullock says Jay didn't like him or RG3. Nope.
Well, Alfred Morris from earlier.
Teddy Strong Bear. What's up, Teddy? I think this is the first time seeing you. Thank you for popping in. Gary Clark is in the 4th slot. I put Rigo in 1 or 2. You got a Clark spotting. Okay. I can see it, man. Clark was a speedster. Just a friendly reminder, if you guys are watching on YouTube, please hit that like button, man. We would greatly appreciate it. And Dev, let's go back to you for your number 3, man.
I'm gonna go Arthur Monk. Arthur
just make it up. Just make it
Arthur Jebediah Monk.
Jebediah. I'm not 100% sure.
Jebediah Monk.
Jebediah Monk.
Art Monk, man. That's a good. Oh, James Arthur Monk is his name.
Oh, really? It's known as Arthur.
Yeah.
Whatever that cartoon character is, fucking Aardvark or fucking Anteater. I don't know what the fuck that dude is.
James Arthur Monk. Jim says 24 touchdowns from Rico were like tush push. Okay. That's
I mean, realistically, a lot of them were. Now, not all of them, but a lot of them were. That dude, you got inside the 5, it was almost automatic.
Yep.
You knew what they were going to do, and you couldn't stop it.
Dev, I like Art Monk at 3. Syracuse guy, 940 receptions.
Wait a minute, is it really a rank if they're both on the mountain?
No, they're not. I'm just saying at your number 3 spot. Yeah, your number 3 spot. You're correct. They're not ranked. And Monk held the reception record for how long?
Till Jerry Rice.
Till Jerry Rice broke it.
He had it for a long time. 940. He had it for a long time.
The problem was that
bunch of records was Jerry
Rice. The record. It was right as everybody who passed him was on the come up, and they eventually passed him.
And now there's 20 people ahead of him. There's 23 people ahead of him now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But at the time,
keep this in mind too. Monk did it on teams that, for the first half of his career, we were a running team.
And they had 13 games that year, a couple of years or whatever.
They had 15 in one strike season. They had 9 in another. But keep in mind too is that Monk did that on a team that we were running John Riggins. We also had Joe Washington in the background, in the backfield, who was getting his carries, and he was getting.
Wasn't he on crack though?
Not Joe Washington. You're thinking of Dexter Manley.
We should do a top 5 sports crackheads, man. Oh my god.
No, Dexter. I'm sorry,
Lawrence
Dexter.
Taylor- Lawrence
Dexter
Taylor
loved
was on
cocaine. That's what it
Lawrence
was.
Taylor
Yeah.
will be on that.
He couldn't read.
But
speaking of,
Dexter Manley,
Dre has him at number 4. Averaged over 10 sacks and 9
Brett
seasons
Favre
in
be on it,
DC.
though.
3 elite seasons and 84, 85, 86. Look at that. They counter pressures, hurries, and hits. On the
I
quarterback.
really think that of
72.
all the people, I think
I like
Dexter
it.
Manley is one of the most underrated players in the history of football.
I agree. He's definitely
That
definitely
dude
the
was
Jadakiss.
an elite pass rusher in a time where you had a lot of elite pass rushers.
He's definitely the Jadakiss of pass rushers.
Yes, that is a great.
100%.
And the thing is, though, is that Jada stood out on with 2 other dope MCs with him.
Mhm.
So he's like,
Dexter stood out on a team that had guys on defense that had guys like Charles Mann on the other side.
so Dexter Manley is like the Paul Rudd of pass rush, just underrated, super talented. Only
And
not
handsome.
everyone knows about him.
And
Right?
handsome according to Phil.
And Dexter Manley has really good teeth. I will say that, man. That man's got a very, very nice grill, man. I will give him that.
I'll say a lot of things about Dexter Manley. I ain't calling Dexter Manley handsome.
Remember
You
the whole
can't be handsome and play defensive end.
reading
That's
thing.
why I
right?
wanted to play defensive end.
The whole reading disability he had that became public. Crazy.
He graduated college and couldn't read.
I'm just saying it's a wild story. It's a wild story.
Tells you how it used to be back in the day.
Yep. Teddy Strongberg.
Yeah,
Crack didn't pop off till the mid
I
80s.
corrected myself, Teddy. He liked cocaine.
Yeah. Yep. Jim's right.
He was too. Yeah.
Steve Largent had the record before Monk. Scrappy.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 80 on the Seahawks. 80?
You know what's funny is that
DI receiver. Nah,
Monk would. If you ever see the catch Monk breaks the reception on, it's such an Art Monk catch
Is it?
because it's literally an 8-yard out.
Is Steve Largent the greatest white receiver ever, though?
The greatest white receiver.
Ever?
Is he the greatest Is he the greatest
Probably.
white non-quarterback football player, man?
You don't have a lot there to choose from. You got Don Beebe. You got
No.
Wes Welker. You got
Let's name the top 5, the top number 1 white NFL player that doesn't play quarterback.
that doesn't play quarterback.
Jason doesn't play
Steve
quarterback.
Horn.
Dude, you got also
Yeah.
ton of offensive linemen.
It might be Gronk.
Great. There's a ton of offensive linemen.
It depends
that category.
what your metrics
Any
are
position
for
in the
top
league,
5.
not quarterback.
I would choose Gronk just because I think he's cool as shit.
Nah, it's
Over
it might be
everyone else.
better.
What metric are you talking about? What defines
Period.
best? You know
Football
what I mean?
player. If you could get one football player that's white and not a quarterback, any position's open.
Yeah, I'd probably get Gronk. He's cool as
I
shit,
think
and
it's
he's a
probably
good. He's
Gronk
a
might be
beast.
the greatest white non-quarterback player in the NFL, man. It's up there. It's got to be up there, right? Steve Largent got to be up there too.
Yeah,
Oh, he's up there just because of the
Chris
fact that he
Collinsworth,
had that
maybe?
reception record.
Chris Collinsworth up there.
No, Chris
No.
Collinsworth was good at his best.
Ain't in the Hall of Fame?
No,
I'm sure he is for all.
Chris
everything he's
Collinsworth is
done.
not in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I'm actually shocked. Well, he must
Chris
not. He wasn't
Collinsworth.
very good. He wasn't a very good
Oh my
NFL
God.
player.
What
But
about McCaffrey?
But half the people in the Hall of
Ed
Fame aren't good
McCaffrey,
football players.
He's not in the Hall of Fame, but he
Being
was
a good football
No,
player
yeah,
is
I'm
not
talking about-
not a metric for being in the Hall of Fame.
It is.
That's just the truth. You don't have to be a good football player to be in the Hall of Fame.
Man, it might be Gronk, man. I'm sitting there trying to think. Kelsey, they're gonna be on the same list. But it's definitely Gronk's definitely on the list.
I mean, Anthony
And Chris
Munoz.
Collinsworth
Anthony
had
Munoz was a
more
Anthony
beast.
Munoz-
beast.
Anthony Munoz is not
catches
white.
this year.
His last name's Munoz.
Oh, so, okay. So they have to be white. then.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So you got some offensive linemen over the years.
Man, none of them. I would take Gronk over all them though.
I'll say this: Chris Collinsworth ain't in the Hall of Fame, but did get 3 Pro Bowls.
Man,
He has better
Yeah,
stats than probably a bunch of people in there, I bet.
Steve Largent's white too.
Yeah, Collinsworth averaged if in a 17 game average.
I
not
think
16,
Ringo might be on that list.
but 66 catches for 1,064 yards average in his career.
Randy White was a monster.
Randy
though.
White.
Yeah.
Jim Lee says Bill Romanowski, Lance Allworth, San Diego Chargers.
Oh, what's the linebacker
John
for
Rigo.
the Bears? What's his face?
Brian Urlacher,
No, the old one, nigga.
Dick Butkus.
Nick Butkus.
Dick Butkus.
See, if you
I
go
mean, you could
back,
do the
you go back
Steelers,
to the 60s
Jack,
and 70s, you
Jack
kinda
Lambert. Jack Lambert.
Jack Lambert.
That dude
Yeah,
was
I'm
a
still
nightmare.
taking Gronk over all them some bitches, bro. Hey, Tress Way.
John Riggins.
I
Yeah.
said Rigo. Rigo
All
might
right,
be on the short
let's
list,
keep it
bro.
moving, guys. Phil, what's your number? What's
We gotta
your
do an all
third one?
white. We gotta do an all white. Rushmore.
the all Moxie.
Yeah.
The Moxie Rushmore.
Top 5
Nice.
Moxie
All right.
players.
So my number 3 is going to be Daryl Green.
Darrell.
Daryl Green
Naquavius
had
Johnson.
look. Daryl Green was all speed
Wow.
and technique. He definitely was not size. He was undersized in his time at corner. 5'8", 175. And 175 is being generous. But 50-some interceptions in his career. One of those guys that did not get a lot. He would have had a lot more if people threw the ball his way.
Yeah.
He was routinely matched up on whoever the number one is. It was always matched up on number one until Champ Bailey came around in 1999, 16 years later.
I got Dion too.
Daryl Green.
We had Dion and Champ and Green 1 year.
Yeah. Look how that turned out.
Same time. 8 and 8.
But Dion and it was not who Dion used to be at that time. He just wasn't. But Daryl Green was a shutdown corner. He was the fastest guy on the field, fastest guy in the NFL 2 years in a row. Ran a 4.0840. And people say that with the fact that it was hand timed, he might have been a little bit faster than that.
He's a minus you 0.2 of a second.
He was considered for the Olympic relay squad. That's how fast he was. But he went and played football instead. But he was also epitomized toughness because that dude, one of the things people don't realize about Daryl Green is that he played the run like very few corners ever have. He'd come up and would try to hit people. He would try to lay tackles on people. And, sometimes he got run over for it, but because he was so small. But he also tackled a lot of running backs that were significantly bigger than him because of the fact that he was willing to do it. That's why, whenever I see a small corner who comes up and plays the run, I get really excited because I'm like, that's what Daryl Green did.
Yep. Didn't shy away from hits. Who did we used to joke about? Not Will Compton, but who was the other? David Mayo used to tackle in self-defense.
No, it was Cole Holcomb.
Cole Holcomb used to tackle in self-defense. That dude never went out for a tackle.
Was it Jim Sleazy that said that?
He got hit.
I think it was Jim Sleazy that came up with that line.
That was so funny. That will always resonate with me, dude. We had a
tackle in self-defense.
Oh, shit. Hey, guys, you can win a free fries for life at Checkers, man, if you guess the Orlando Magic and Lakers score. They score 111. They're at 110 now.
So. Can I just guess that the Lakers are going to lose?
Yeah. Well, they're down 12 with 3 minutes.
Ryan's got Trent Williams, 11-time Pro Bowler, 3 times All-Pro. I didn't know the sacks allowed. Maybe you can look it up. Need to pay for that, but help Jay Campbell. Yeah,
I love Trent Williams. I'm on the bandwagon. I wanted to get
Trent
him
Williams.
Great. I need him here to retire here, bro.
I hope so. Maybe they can repair the damage that was done.
It's funny though because I can make a case that Trent Williams is at best the third best left tackle we've had.
I mean, yeah, it's because of our history. I think
that tells you a lot about our history at left tackle.
Yeah. Yo, pound for pound though, I think Trent was probably the best.
I do too.
You can't tell me he was better than Jacoby Orlando.
Prime Jim Lachey is the best left tackle I've seen.
Trent Williams ran like a 4.6 40. That dude's a blazer.
Faster than that receiver that went today.
Dude, Xavier Restrepo from Miami ran like a 4.8. He had offensive lineman running faster. He's a wide receiver. He ran like a
welcome to tight end, Bill, boy. Big dog.
Yeah, that's what you said.
That's
crazy.
No, what I'm saying is that I will say this. I mean, obviously, we always talk about how Jacoby is being shafted from the Hall of Fame. And Jim Lachey got shafted from a career of being the greatest left tackle ever because of a back injury that would never healed properly. I mean, it was a significant back injury. I'd love to know how that guy's doing now. You don't ever hear anything from him, but he's quietly living retirement, I guess. But that dude locked down guys like Reggie White. He locked down Bruce Smith. He locked down anybody that was up there. Lawrence Taylor. You could throw anybody at him. That guy went, I think, 2.5 seasons without allowing a sack. barely allowed pressures. I mean, so Trent Williams is great. He's not the best of all time for this team, but I can understand the argument just because of the accolades.
Yeah, he had 30 more pounds on him too. It's kind of, they're different. They're different people. Trent Williams ran faster at 40 than that receiver from Miami did today. Trent Williams ran a 4.81 at 320 pounds, which is almost 30 pounds heavier than Lachey. That's insane, dude. 4.8 for 320 pounds. That's
why he's a silverback, man. Guy, man.
Yeah. Sorry, Phil's history lessons are bringing us back, man. They're fascinating. I'm gonna go Art Monk. No need to dwell on it. We've talked probably for like 20 minutes about Art Monk.
Arthur.
I got him on number 3. James Arthur Monk. Call him Jam. I guess Jam is the acronym. All right, Dev. Real quick, let me get to Deluxe. He's got Sammy Baugh, Grimm, Green, Manley, all drafted by Washington. Honorable mentions: Monk, Gibbs, and Bobby Bethard.
Bobby Bethard's the guy. Very underrated. Deserving to be on the list.
Is one of his sons is a scout on our team, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
He's way down on the list, but Deluxe says Dion's going to take her off to heal his foot before Washington put a big check in front of him. Hey, Dan Snyder, his money talks. All right, Dev, number 2.
Gibbs.
Okay. Joe Gibbs.
For obvious reasons. He's one
obvious reasons.
Top 3 coaches of all time.
Obvious reasons.
3 championships and 4 rings, 4 attempts or whatever, 3 rings or whatever it is. Guys is one of the greatest, if not the greatest team, 1991 team that ever graced the NFL field. I'm going Gibbs. Number 2. Probably should have been.
Can't go wrong with Gibbs, man. I
in the field after him.
I thought about putting coaches on here, but just for my list, I did not. Gibbs, 100%. Don't disagree with that one.
All right, Snyder's number 1.
Oh, that would because
Harris might be number 1. Hell, after all the shit we've been through,
our savior. All right, Phil, who's your next one?
This is one I toiled on all day on this one because I was just like, God, there's so many people I could put on this list.
Chris Cooley.
No, not Chris Cooley. I love Chris Cooley.
Robert Griffin III.
I liked RG3.
Mama Griffin.
No, so I'm going to have to go with James Arthur Monk.
Oh, Jam. What can you say?
Only because of tenure.
Can't
and honestly, I'm going to tell you this: my honorable mentions go way beyond 2, but of them. I'll go through a couple of the ones that didn't quite get there, but
put as many as
Art Monk, consistency, tenure, you got to put them up there.
13 years just with our franchise alone. 13 years. No, that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. Darryl Green did 20. Sonny Jurgensen was here 10. I'm sorry, 11.
Puka Nacua came out and said he wants to retire at age 30 just because he has other stuff in his life he wants to do. I'm like, I can't hate. I don't hate that.
And then I look at a corner like Darryl Green who played into his 40s.
Remember, these guys hit, dude. Like they put a licking on their bodies. It wasn't like today's game where you're a little more. These guys beat the shit out of their bodies every weekend and didn't have the rehab like these guys have now. They had hot tubs, cold tubs, and what's that old stinky shit we used to put on Bengay. That's it. Probably didn't even have Tiger Balm back then. Jim Sleazy's got Darryl Green number 3 before Jaden Daniels. He was arguably our last superstar on a team. Because of the Pro Bowl weekend, the country watched him defend his fastest man in the NFL title about 3 or 4 times. That's right. You can still go on YouTube and find those, by the way. Fastest man. Cody, what's up, Cody? Oh, man. Here we go.
I'm going to smack Cody because that last one was wrong.
Apke, Keenan McCardell. Keenan McCardell was a Charger, right? A former Charger. Was he a Charger?
Keenan McCardell was drafted by the Redskins by Joe Gibbs in like the 12th round.
Went to the Cowboys.
Jacksonville. He went to the Browns and then went to Jacksonville, and he was a star. That dude was the second. He was Art Monk all over again in terms of just being that consistent guy who gets you a first down all the time. It was one of the few times that Joe Gibbs and company truly missed. They did not see it with him.
Yeah.
And had they seen it with him,
1 year,
Had they seen it with him, the 90s look quite different.
Oh yeah.
Because we have McCardle. If you look at his career, Keenan McCardle, look at his career, you got him with Henry Ellard and Michael Westbrook as a third receiver. So he's not, the 90s look very different. I'm just saying. That's one. McCardle was the consistent guy that they did not have at wide receiver. They had, Ellard was consistent, but Ellard was the only guy he could throw to for a couple seasons, and and he was a deep guy. That guy averaged 18, 19 yards a catch.
To your point, listen to these Josh Gordon type numbers. Keenan McCardell. So we cut him after that 91 season, right? 92. He played 5 games for the Browns, 56 catches, 700 yards in 5 games.
He started 5, right?
Yes, only started 5, but still, that's crazy.
It is.
And then we had
to look at the rest of his career.
I know, but we had him as a coach later on for a year under Shanny, and then now he's in the Vikings. I think he's a receivers coach or something on the Vikings.
He is one of the most underrated. He's another one of those dudes, sorely underrated because he's consistent. He's not flashy. He was consistent, extremely consistent. Art Monk levels of consistent.
Yeah.
That's why I was so mad by like 1996, 97 because like we had this guy on our team. What happened?
Yep. Another Russ Grimm sighting. Uptown Dre, 4-time Pro Bowler at 273 pounds. There you go. Teddy said they had cocaine heal up back then.
Oh yeah.
Hey, for sure.
Hey, nowadays you snort pre-workout.
There you go.
Eat some pussy and run back on the field.
Yeah. Ryan said, number 2, Tress Way, best player on the team for years, only killer who pinned teams back. Now, defense allowing big drives. Quality guy, good at his job. All Dan Snyder era picks, FYI. Yeah, I mean, we had Matt Turk was a good punter for us. Reggie Roby was a good punter for us. And then I think Tress Way still the best one, though. Still the best one.
It's funny because punter is a position we never, like, until Reggie Roby, we never had guys who just were big boomer, like legs like that.
Yeah,
we had guys who were really good at doing shorter high punts. So it killed the other team's return averages because of the fact that by the time the ball came down, you got defenders all around you. Kelly Goodburn was that guy. Jeff Hayes was that guy. So then they got that guy from the Chargers. I can't remember his name. Ralph. I can never pronounce his last name. It's some South African deal.
Naga.
No, he's German. It was German, but nonetheless, it was we had guys who could. It was very much like guys who averaged like 38 yards a punt, but only allowed about 4 yards a return. But then we had guys like Reggie Roby, we had Matt Turk, we had Tress Way. So we've had a good history of punters in the post Gibbs era.
Yeah,
for sure.
Jim has number 2, the Diesel. Look, part of his semi-running over secondaries. That's right. I have Daryl Green in the second spot. No need to dwell. Daryl's a great guy. I'm glad he got his jersey retired. Long overdue. Hall of Fame player, probably one of our most prized treasures in the Washington franchise. So Daryl Green's got my second spot.
Listen up, Sandy baby.
What you got, Dave?
I would pay to have seen that. I would pay money to go back in time and see that. I would love to see Riggo drunk off his ass telling a Supreme Court justice, "Hey, Sandy baby, loosen up." And then he passed out under the table.
That's funny. That's fucked up. All right, Dev. You're muted. Muted.
Daryl Green is number 1.
Daryl Green. There it is. Yeah. Back in the building, man.
The same 3.
Back in the building.
Just different orders. We got the same.
But remember last year when we did the show on Daryl Green and how they invited him back, he was like, I stayed away from this place for years.
I was at the game. I was at his retirement game.
Yeah, that's right. You were.
Yeah, I got to come to it.
He's like, I wasn't wanted. The Snyder regime did nothing to make us feel welcome. So, screw him. Cool. All right, Phil, who you got? And
Joe Jackson Gibbs.
Joseph Jackson Gibbs.
What can I say?
Goated.
Probably the greatest.
Goated.
Honestly, still to me, the greatest coach of all time. out of nowhere. Him and Bethard, but Bobby Bethard and Joe Gibbs worked hand in hand.
Winning balls and those superstar quarterbacks.
Joe knew how to win games. He knew how to game plan. It's funny because I hear people say now that, oh, we think it's stupid if a coach stays till 3 a.m. game planning every day. No, Gibbs took this shit seriously. Guys talking about that he slept at Redskins Park. They would come in practice in the morning, see Joe's car with the dew on it, and be like,
"He never left.
He's been here all night."
Yeah.
If he's going to put in this dedication, how can I half-ass it?
Yep.
Led by example. He was not a curse. Has anyone heard Joe Gibbs curse? He never has.
I don't think so.
Joe Gibbs was the anti-Ditka. He was the anti-Bill Parcells. All right, in an era where everybody was chewing gum and get off your fucking ass and run. Like that was not Joe Gibbs.
And you never heard one bad story about him. Not a single one that I know of. A bad story about Joe Gibbs.
He was the only man who truly believed in Doug Williams. The only man I could think of that could put together a team from scratch in a week and go 3-0.
Yep.
There's won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different starting quarterbacks, has an insane winning percentage that actually his second tenure trying to fix the Dan Snyder mess brought it down, but still the only coach under Dan Snyder to go to the playoffs twice.
Here we go. All right, for me, I'm going with slinging Sammy Ball. Sammy Ball changed the game. He's the OG of legends.
OG the forward pass
in this thing we call the NFL. I mean, Sammy Ball, I know a lot of people won't relate to Sammy Ball because statistics are crazy. The way they calculated yardage back then. Yes, he has more interceptions than touchdowns. He revolutionized the game.
He also got Defensive Player of the Year and Offensive Player of the Year, and he also made an All-Pro at punter.
He passed, he punted, and he played defense.
In the same year, he's All-Pro in 3 positions.
You want to talk about Iron Man?
Defensive and Offensive MVP of the Year.
I
should have put him on my list over Brian Mitchell. I just didn't think of it, honestly. But
it's okay. Hey, 16 years from 1937 1952, all with Washington Redskins. He revolutionary.
The only reason I really didn't know is because I felt like if you were to slap pictures up with these guys, no one would know who that guy is without his name under his.
I mean,
I would only because I've seen video.
Yeah, you would.
I've seen interviews.
Yeah, we would, but I'm the average person. They wouldn't know Sammy Ball's face unless it had Redskins flashing on the side of it.
He played punter and safety. I mean, come on,
punter, safety, and quarterback.
And
he was
just
the original.
And was the best in the league at all of those.
You can make the argument that he belonged in the Hall of Fame as a punter.
Yeah, 4-time All-Pro, 4-time second-team All-Pro.
He got 4 interceptions in one game, right? Or some shit. Wasn't it the record for a long time?
That I don't know.
I think he got 4 interceptions in one game or some crazy shit.
3.
Yeah, 3 in one game. Okay, I know he had a record.
Yeah, and not only that, but I mean, he was decent running ball. Not great, but I mean, for a quarterback, he could run the ball pretty well. He had 31 career interceptions. 31
as a defender, as a safety.
As a defender, 31 career interceptions, led the league in 1943 with 11.
Insanity, right? 13 NFL records.
Oh, and by the way, in 1940, averaged 51.4 yards a punt, which I think is still an NFL record.
That's crazy
for a season. And that was on 35 punts. It wasn't like it was like 5.
When he retired, he held 13 records at 3 positions, like Dev said. 13 NFL records at 3 positions whenever he retired. But he played 16 years for our franchise.
Yeah, really
16 years, man. From 37 to 52. That's just, I had to put him up there. A lot, like I said, it's mostly for the respect, and a lot of people don't know. Dre's got James Arthur Monk at number 2, first down machine, called everything. Gerald P., what's up, Gerald? What's happening? Thanks for popping in.
Monk also was a huge slot receiver. To be that big, that slot was wild back then.
Congrats, Jaden. Hey, we love Jaden, man. This is about the Mount Rushmore, though. I think in due time, Jaden will find his way.
Jane only has to be this good for 5 years to be on there. Honestly,
That's right. Then he'll get his $100 million a year.
He go to one more NFC championship and lose.
Yeah.
He's probably on there.
Jim Sneezy's got Dexter Manley as number one, has more sacks than Kerrigan. Someone else had
Kerrigan's also not on the list.
Manley is not on the
list.
Let's
go top
Manley
5.
Manley has more sacks than Kerrigan unofficially. So Pro Football Reference went back as far as they could and tallied up sack numbers for everybody. And when they did that, if you go with the unofficial numbers, because they didn't start counting sacks till 82, but if you go with the unofficial numbers, Manley does have more career sacks than Kerrigan.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's fair. Fair enough.
And he did it in 10 years.
I don't know.
No, 81 to 90. So 10 seasons. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Ryan says number one, AP, Dan Quinn, and Josh Harris. They banished the wicked bitch of the East, 1-12-5, made the playoffs, won 2 games, eliminated the Indian curse. I'm telling you, the curse was lifted at the Hail Mary. We could see Dan Snyder's evil spirit leaving Northwest Field, FedEx Field, whatever.
Irish Force Ghost, man.
Oh, it's a great time to be alive. All right, guys. Real quick, throw out some honorable mentions if you want. Who would you like to put on there?
I have like a list of 20.
Pick a couple.
Okay.
Throw them on there.
You
don't have to explain every one of them, though. Just pick a couple.
Sammy Ball.
Well, you already got Sammy Ball on the list, though.
Well, yeah, but he was one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah, put my
The only reason I didn't put him on there was because of the fact that I think Sonny did more for. I think Sonny Jurgensen did more for lifting a really bad franchise out of the doldrums at a time which we needed, like a better term, we needed a hero.
Yeah.
Sammy Ball revolutionized the game, but he came here when Washington came here from Boston, when the Redskins came here from Boston in 1937, they were a good team. So I always kind of take that back a little bit. But Sammy Ball, I mean, all-time 1940s team, you got to go with that. Another one.
What?
I got all yours too, Steve. Also, like somebody said, Bobby Beathard, probably a good one.
But I actually have another one in my honorable mentions. Jack Kent Cook.
JKC. There you go. Fair. That's very, very warranted.
Doug Williams for for what he meant to black players.
Yes.
That's a lot, man. Chris Cooley might be
Rigo's in my honorable mentions. The only reason I kept him off, tenure.
Yeah.
Tenure was a big one for me.
Cooley might be on there.
Yeah, Cooley's on
Hamburger and Ken also on mine.
Hamburger should have made it. Chris should have made it.
Well, Hamburger was he's a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
He was a stalwart of all stalwarts at linebacker for us.
Yeah.
Ken Houston's another one.
Wilbur Marshall.
I got London. You said Houston?
Yeah, Ken Houston. Ooh, Teddy Strongbear says Dave Butt's always forgotten. Not by me. I love me some Dave Butt. 6'7", 305-pound defensive tackle in the 80s.
Jim Lachey.
I got Lachey on mine. I got
Lachey didn't make mine. Look, Lachey is to me still, like I said, Brian Lachey is the greatest left tackle ever. But injuries cut it way too short for me.
Yeah.
That's why, and Jacoby is honorable mention as well. I mean, just put the Hogs.
Taylor Heineke?
Yes, I mean, Phil would agree. He said some pleasant things about Taylor.
No.
Yes, you got a jersey.
Yeah.
Remember?
I have a confession to make.
No.
I secretly bought a Taylor Heineke jersey. I tried it on, and not gonna lie, it just feels right.
It's okay. We got it. We got it, Phil. We got it. All good. Okay. This is our Mount Rushmore, guys.
And obviously, Paul Rudd is on the.
Of course, Paul Rudd will always be everywhere. He's everywhere we go. This show is actually dedicated to Paul Rudd. Without Paul Rudd, there would be no Command This podcast. So, Paul Rudd, we thank you for everything that you've done for us and continue to do on this show. All right, guys. That was our Mount Rushmore, thank you for chiming in. Just a little bit more news. The red carpet came out for Tress Way. If you haven't seen it, so it's not really anything to show. It's just the fact that Tress Way came out and he went to go sign his 1-year deal. So you guys know they re-signed Tress Way on a 1-year deal. He's 35, 36. I don't know exactly how old he is. Didn't know if he was coming back. They offered him a 1-year deal. He took it, went to the facility with his family, and particularly his son, Bo. And they rolled out the red carpet for him. It was insane. And he came out publicly to say, they had a group of people open the door for him. They walked in. All the coaches were there. The front office was there. Music was playing. People were screaming, yelling, high five, hugs. And I quote when he says this, "I'm just so pinching myself, dude. This is so surreal. 12 years here. And I made it a point to just tell AP, I've been here for 12 years. I didn't even know teams did things like this. I've never been through it. I just wanted to thank them. It's been such a fun, exciting time to be part of the franchise. And I'm thankful and honored to be a part of it." I don't know about you guys, but it must have sucked to be playing for this team before this regime got here.
I'm worried about why they give this nigga 1 year. He should have got like 5 years. I know.
Yeah,
forever.
I
feel like
agree.
he may be winding his career down,
or maybe it'll just be 1 year. And they'll give him. Maybe he told him he's undecided if he wants to play past a year. Maybe he said, give me a 1 year. Maybe he wanted a 1 year deal.
Yeah,
because he doesn't know. How old is he?
That
30?
dude's already earned whatever he wants from us.
Oh no, man! You ever like, a girl who baby daddy is so horrible that every time she sees her son, she sees the old baby's daddy. I mean, I feel like maybe this is it. Maybe every time they see him walking down the hallway, they see Dan Snyder. Like, got his eyes, man. I
like Jim Sleazy's comments here. Says the cool thing about the Skins players are their names. 2 defensive ends, a man and Manley, with Big Dave Butts at nose tackle. Yeah, him and Daryl Grant, man.
Miller.
Hey, Chip was killing
Miller, Russ Grimm, Joe Theismann.
Nobody put Mark Mosley on their.
We didn't put Mark Mosley. Man. We did not put.
He'd be an honorable mention, but I have a hard time putting kickers in there. But you had also guys like they say Russ Grimms, guys like that. Just it was names that were definitely they play for the Skins.
Chip Longmire was my man on fucking Tecmo Bowl, dog. Put the one finger up.
You knew he was gonna make it, man. Chip Longmiller never missed.
Chip Longmiller is the I can't remember the last time Chip Longmiller may be the last player from this team that started in a McDonald's commercial.
Really?
Yes, him and Pizza. Oh, I'll find that too because I also got up the old intro. By the way, I actually found it with lyrics.
I sent it to you in a chat.
Yeah, well, I found it on the actual on YouTube.
Real quick, we got another checking in from X for their top 5. You got Riggins, Jacoby, Darryl Green, Larry Brown. We left out Larry Brown. Old number 43, Larry Brown. We left out Larry Brown.
Larry Brown is definitely an honorable mention. He's a guy who just, unfortunately, playing running back in the 70s meant you didn't have a long career, unless you're certain guys.
Hey, Ryan. Actually, it's funny you mentioned your wife wants to know about JD's mom and cock block moves because
that's his cousin.
That's some of the next topic I want to talk about here. So, Dev, I don't know about that. That's. Some people are saying that that's a rumor, that it's not really true. I don't know if it is true or not.
I thought it was funny.
I thought it was either way. It was funny, but the video here, we'll watch it here very quickly.
Juju's my favorite player too. I get it.
No, but I mean,
I love watching Juju play.
It's funny. I'll let you guys make your own conclusions of what it is. But long story short, Jaden was watching some college basketball. And he was spotted with Juju Reese.
Not Juju Reese.
Not Juju Reese.
Juju Schuster. No, I was joking.
It is Reese.
It's Watkins, big dog.
Juju Watkins.
Why don't I saying Juju Reese? Oh, I'm thinking of Andrew Reese. Sorry, Andrew Reese on the brain. My bad. Listen up.
A DC native.
So there's some. We're not listening to sound, but there's a video of them talking. Apparently, they know each other. They're friends, allegedly.
Both from LA.
It's funny because he's all smiles and she's kind of going along and she's like, oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
you're not. Oh. She's like, I ain't having this shit.
Look at her face.
You look at like JD's still cool because hey, that's Mom Dukes right there.
Kind of looks like a
Yeah.
mama.
Chooch's like, bitch.
From eyes to nose, he kind of looks like a mama.
And so the thing Ryan's talking about, the cousin thing, I don't think it's true. I heard it was not true. So I don't know what to believe. I don't really care, but it's funny either way that, hey, his mom's very protective of him. I think she'll probably back off in a couple years, but she wants to make sure he gets his career started right. He has no distractions, and she fears a lot of times that guys get tied down and it just disrupts what they're trying to do. I don't blame her.
Loyal.
Yeah. 20 more seconds. This is see the camera. And so what some people are saying is like they were at a game, they had 2 seats. She got up to do whatever. Either he slid over, or she slid over. They started talking, and then mom came back, and that was just her assigned seat. So maybe it's not a big deal. I think it's funny either way how it can be perceived.
Obviously, it's not that big of a deal. It's just funny.
It's hilarious. I think.
I just wonder if Juju, when she had to move her seat, if she had to go, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I should get my ass out the way to make room for Mama Jackson. Ryan says we're converting Cowboys fan, and she said he's cute. Shit, he can smash for a cool man. He's gonna have lots of money to spare. Ryan is indecent. Ryan
shipping players now.
Ryan is indecent proposaling his wife to Jaden Daniel. Let's put that on record.
Damn,
that was not on my bingo card.
Command is where cuckolding happens. Motherfucker. You know how tough you gotta be watching a motherfucker with a bigger dick to always smash your chick, dog. That's some crazy shit. And I think every black man has been invited to smash some white dude's wife too. I'm pretty sure that's happened to every black man in the world. It's happened to me. The only reason I ain't do it is because I ain't want to make the white guy feel bad. I mean, I'll be like, look, dude, how bad would I feel if I pull mine out and his bigger than me? He's like, nigga, I could have did that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to disappoint him with my blackness.
I have never asked anyone of any race, creed, or color to bang whoever I'm with.
I didn't say every white guy's done it. I'm saying every black guy's had it happen to him.
I'm just saying I don't understand.
All the black guys in this party, have you ever had a white man offer to his wife to let you smash?
News to me.
Yeah. I mean, nobody puts Asian men in the Pornhub search box, dog. It's not. It's not.
I gotta play this out, man.
Yeah, no one ever says, "Hey, give me that big Asian."
Let's just remind each other when we ask what happened. Why did they throttling down our video? It's this is what they call shocking content.
Asian penises. That's
from YouTube perspective. All right, Dev, this is for you. The details of John Bates' contract went out. 3 years, $21 million, 11.5 guaranteed, $7 million signing bonus.
Are you getting
Cap
paid
hits 4.3, 5.8, 10.8. He ain't seeing that 10.8.
4.3 is way more expensive than I would give a third tight end.
He's getting 4.3 and 5.8. He ain't gonna see that 10.8.
He's getting Jameis Winston money, bro.
Yeah. Jameis signed for what?
2 years, $8 million.
Yeah. There you go. I wonder if there's some incentives in there for him, but
he got paid more than Bates got paid more.
Yeah, hold on. Half that contract's guaranteed. The rest of that's incentives, I'm sure.
Yeah, he got 11 million guaranteed.
But Jameis did, or John Bates. 11 and a half. But
yeah, you got more than Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I mean it's still not bad in retrospect. I don't know who they would have gotten. They would have had to draft a guy.
Yeah, you could have drafted a guy.
You only have 5 picks, and if they trade again, you only have 4. Do you want to waste it on another tight end?
Picked an undrafted free agent to play fucking third string tight end, bro, in the block.
But they already got a bunch in the. I mean, they got Cole Turner somehow still.
What's that
Yankoff?
What's that Ballore dude? Ballore.
Nick Ballore. I think he's still on the roster.
He fullback.
He's a linebacker.
You play fullback.
Oh yeah, Ballore is a linebacker.
He played fullback in Seattle.
But he's a linebacker here.
Dev, they like John Bates. You're just gonna have to get used to it.
I like John Bates. I'm not mad that he's here. Just
not for $4 million.
A lot of money
and $6 million.
Everybody's making fun of Gallup, but Gallup's going to get. I bet Gallup has more receiving yards and bases this year. I got $50 on him on this podcast right now that Bates has less yards at the end of the year than your boy Gallup. Gallup has a better year.
Talk to me after training camp.
No, we can do it now or never. Bates is gonna Gallup is gonna have more yards and touchdowns than Bates, bro.
I mean, if Ertz goes down,
Nah, I don't.
Bates is the
If he goes down, he's still gonna have more yards than Bates.
I said talk to me at the training camp because right now I don't know if Gallup makes this team or not.
I think he makes the team. I just don't know. There's just too many balls to pass around. I don't even see how Gallup can get Pauls. Too many of
balls.
Too many of those. You got Debo, you got Terry, you got Eckler, you got Ertz. That's 4 receivers right there. There ain't a lot left unless someone gets hurt. Noah Brown's still on the team. Fall down, Noah Brown. He's going to get his
more yards than Bates too.
He's going to get his ball. I mean, Bates had what? 100 yards last year. He didn't have that many.
That's a career high, by the way.
Yeah, but he
got him 4, 5, and $2 million respectively a year.
He was good at blocking. He's good at what he does. He's good at being a tight end too.
Anybody have any kids? Just make sure they're big and can block.
Yes, and you can get paid $5 million for being a back.
Yeah, the back of nigga up that does it better than you.
Right.
So real quick, do we have any other Commanders news we're going to talk about?
I don't think so. I think that's
right.
Mine is Joe's
I got clips for you here.
Okay. Demonetizing clips?
If they demonetize this for a 1993 commercial,
It's happening.
Joey Sly got signed by the Titans. So congrats, Mr. Titan. I know you're not listening, but you got Joey Sly.
But anyway, when I was talking about the last time we had a Redskin or a Commander or anything in a McDonald's commercial.
Joe Theismann.
Nope. Chip Lowmiller.
Oh, Chip.
What's in the bag? Lunch. Quarter pounder cheese, fries. Kicking for it. You and me for my quarter pounder. First one that misses. I know. Watches the winner eat. 50 order. Split the uprights. Barefoot. Helmet on backwards. Split the uprights. Out of the cup holder. Off the scoreboard. And back through. Through the tunnel. Hook it. Off the stone guy. Split the uprights.
These guys are good.
With Jordan.
It was
that's so 90s. That's so early 90s.
It was such a great play off of the old Larry Bird, Michael Jordan commercials.
Yeah,
I
can do better one.
Yeah. And then see, Jim says, I remember this commercial. So do I, Jim. That's why I was like an immediate pull for me. I knew that one.
Yeah.
Joe Theismann had like beer commercials. He was cooler.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we had a couple guys did beer commercials. Joe Theismann just did commercials in general because he was
5. All right. Real quick, I'm gonna let Dev explain this. We do have a Paul Rudd moment of the week. That if I play the audio, it's definitely gonna get us demonetized, but
don't play the audio, just show the video.
Okay, I will play this without the audio, but here's the Paul Rudd moment of the week.
And now it's time for my favorite segment, the Paul Rudd moment of the week. Every time I see Paul Rudd, I wonder if he made a deal with the devil to stay so effortlessly handsome.
All right. Dev, explain why this is the Paul Rudd moment of the week.
You just gotta watch it.
All right, just gotta watch it. All right, here we go.
Doing that goddamn intro. That's worse than the AI.
Here's the Paul Rudd moment of the week. They're not gonna play the sound.
Oh,
you want some of this? You want some of this?
No.
You want some of this? Basically, she hit his hat, and then yeah. This is definitely gonna get.
Hey, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, big dog.
This is what's what's shocking
crazy
content for violence. So
you know what's crazy about this though, bro?
Sorry, YouTube.
Like everybody's like he shouldn't have hit the woman, but I'm like, man. At some point, the woman needs to realize that she can't whoop this dude. Why would you do that? Obviously, the man knew he couldn't whoop him and stop. He was like, you know what? I can't whoop this dude. I'm not gonna swing at him. Dude, like, why didn't she have the same voice on the inside of her head? Like, I can't whoop this dude.
Yeah, this is what I'm telling you. America needs to install a get punched in the face once every 7-year rule. Yeah. You get punched in the face once every 7 years, you know not to slap off at the mouth because you know what it's like.
Yeah.
As silly as that sounds, if everyone knew what it's like to get rocked in the jaw even 10 years, you would shut up. You wouldn't say half the shit you say. I mean, it's stupid and silly, but people do that because they've been unchecked their whole lives, and all of a sudden you get checked. That's what you get.
Yeah.
Bill
Habitual
Belichick,
line
me wrong, but I didn't
snaps.
hear number 21 Taylor name for nothing. I heard from Morris Cool, even though you heard from other people.
Yeah, and this is Mount Rushmore. Taylor, don't underestimate what Taylor's done for the franchise.
It's tenure to keep them all for me. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean,
If he plays 7-8 years for us, he's probably
love Sean Taylor, but we're just talking about guys that did, like you said, Phil, for
other
10,
people in the
years.
comments brought up Cooley or they brought up Morris, whatever it was. By the way, I also have the actual intro. I have had it up here.
We could do one that has like
about the intro, which I think you guys are still in here.
Just play like 15, 20 seconds of it. We don't play the whole thing.
Oh, it's just Dev's verse. It's only about like 30 seconds.
Okay. Here's the intro, guys.
Washington football addicts, baby. Let's go. Washington football addicts. We've been repping for years. Always keeping it real. It's Rod, Steve, Devin, Phil. Talking about latest deals and what goes on the field and happenings with the team. So listen if you a king.
There we go. Short, sweet, to the point. Dev threw it down on that little. I thought it was longer. That was just bam, bam. Good shit, Dev. You are very talented, my friend. Ryan, this is White People Wednesday for the NFL. We are proud.
By the way, that Paul Rudd commercial, that was Steve without the filter.
Don't ask me what that dude's doing on there. I needed a filler just to show that you could put something there before it goes to that. I just hadn't changed it. I don't even know why. There's an Asian dude. He looks at the camera and looks away. It means nothing. I'll find something else eventually, but Phil, that segment's never going away. So I just have to tell you. I mean, what can we say? We love Paul Rudd.
66.666 of this podcast.
Yes.
Paul Rudd.
2/3. That wasn't women. Jeremy Clarkson getting popped. Yeah. Santana Moss, honorable mention, loves his team. Yes, Tana man. Love Tana. Great. Hey Jim, that's just the way it transferred over. The sound is crisp as we do the normal. It's as crisp as we do the normal intro. It's just when we share it on here, it's just the way it transfers across the share.
Yeah,
that's all. Okay.
Dev's got professional studio equipment. I don't know what. Don't say shit to him.
And I'll bring up the normal one. We'll play it sometime. Real quick, I want to talk about March Madness very quickly. I got to give it up for the Terps, man. They came through in the clutch. Fear the turtle for whatever reason, man. The Terps have been losing by buzzer beaters for a long time, and for them to do what they did yesterday was just amazing. If you don't know Derek Queen, true freshman, committed out of Baltimore.
5-star recruit, which the Terps have not had in God knows how long.
Yeah, I'm gonna replay this footage. I don't give a shit.
This will get us demonetized.
Don't even care. Don't even care. No sound. You see, he gets the ball on the inbound pass. Just for the record, 3.7 seconds left. Ball on the inbounds. He gets it, moves to the left. People are talking about he travels, makes it, game over. But I learned this yesterday.
First one's a gather step.
I learned this. The NCAA does not authorize a gather. It's NBA only. But the rest let them play. That's why people are saying it's strong. I did not know that.
Everybody calls the gather step now.
I did not know the NCAA did not realize that. He picked up 1, 2. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the rules.
Travel in college, but no one calls that anymore.
Dude, if you watch the game,
that's travel in NBA or college, bro.
No, it's not.
If you watch, not NBA.
First one. See,
NBA
1 foot down, 2 foot down, jump.
NBA has the Euros. NBA has the
he literally
crab dribble.
Derek Queen literally said in the huddle, said, "Give me the motherfucking ball."
He did. He sure did. And he said, "Why are you so confident?" I'm from Baltimore. And the good thing about Maryland is the guys. I'm telling you, it's the same thing with football, and it's going to be a slow process. Guys in this area are finally staying home. It's a movement. Like they're actually conspiring with each other. There's like a couple 4-star recruits coming out of local areas in Maryland, committing to the University of Maryland.
We got 2 5s coming to Louisville out of Maryland, I think.
Okay, maybe we didn't get those, Dev. Maybe we didn't get those.
Something weird happening.
Real quick though, like the Colorado State, they were the last Cinderella team, I think. They played some dirty ball, dude. Like this guy right here.
Yeah, I mean, for all the calls we
Clifford.
didn't get,
Look at this. Like he deliberately turns around and elbows his dude. It should have been a flagrant 2 ejection. Look at this. Bam. They missed him looking back.
Yeah,
But look at that.
Nate Ament from
Holy crazy, man. Crazy.
I don't know what the fuck this is. It's weird.
But they had this little Moxie kid named Horn, I think.
Nate Ament from what's his Highland School in Warrenton, Virginia.
Warrenton. Yeah.
He's listed as a number 1 power forward in college, and he's going to Louisville. They got Mike Brown. I think he's from somewhere else in Virginia, Daytona, Virginia. I don't even know what the fuck that is. But Michael Brown, senior, he's a number 1 point guard.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. They're slowly getting there, man. Malik Washington, he's a 4-star quarterback recruit. And he's the 5th.
Late Terps that game day hit a 3 to tie with 10 seconds. First overtime, they're up by 3, foul on the 3, and then Barker shots go in second overtime. Yeah, Lady Terps had to play 2 overtimes to advance. But Maryland's women's program has been for a while just a few steps ahead of the men's program in terms of overall performance. And that dates back to when they got Christy Tolliver up there, and all of a sudden Maryland became a powerhouse ever since then. They've always been a top 10 team. I know Christy Tolliver well. She played for the Mystics. She actually graduated from Harrisonburg High School.
Yeah,
good for me.
Ryan, the Terps in Florida, like you said, they barely pulled it off against UConn. It was close. It was a close game. So I think Florida. I think Florida will beat Maryland. But I think it's cool to bring it to the 16. Give Kevin Willard whatever he wants. So Kevin Willard's the coach for Maryland. He came out the other day and outed the athletic director who's leaving because he said, I wanted to keep my team in New York City one more night, and the school told me it was too expensive. He's like, if I'm going to run my program the way I'm going to run my program, there's some changes that have to be made. And so he's like, I can't negotiate with an athletic director who's transferring. I guess he's transferring to a new school. So issues in Maryland, man, but hopefully they resign him and give Kevin Willard whatever he wants. Phil Bullock says, how many years did Doug play? He won a Super Bowl, so he counts. Doug sucked as a Redskin, got in the Super Bowl. Put him as an honorable mention. But everyone has their own reasons. Yes, statistically, Doug was not a very long career good player for the Redskins, but he broke barriers, man. I think, Dev, that's why you had him on your list. No, Dev didn't have him. None of us had
John Taylor,
Doug on our Rushmore. We had him as honorable mentions.
Yeah. That's because he was basically trash outside 1 or 2 games. But I mean, but those games meant a lot. So
yeah. BYU versus Alabama game, first team to triple digits win. Yeah, that's true. I have 2 brackets. One of my brackets, I got 15 out of 16.
I didn't try one.
The rest, the other one, I was trash. He didn't have full control of the ball, so he gets that step. Well, from a different angle, you look at the opponent. Opponent kind of checked him forward too, so he kind of lost the ball. That angle wasn't very flattering, but they have another angle from the baseline, and it showed where he did get kind of bumped and he did kind of bobble the ball. So that's how you can say it wasn't traveling. But if you ever want to hear it, let the boys play. That was it last night, man. There was some dirty ball by Colorado State. But
that's generally how the NCAA tournament goes, and that's why I love college basketball. They do They usually do a better job of just letting people play. It sucks when your team's on the losing end of letting them play, but I'd much rather it be an evenly called game of let them play, where it's just like if both teams get away with shit, then it just be over officiated.
Yeah,
I do love me some college basketball. I find it way more entertaining in the NBA. Just always have. NBA playoffs are always cool, but I'd much rather watch regular season college basketball than regular season NBA.
Yeah. All right, guys, key off-season dates. Like I said, we want to keep this fresh in everyone's mind as we close out the show. There's not a whole lot going on between now and the draft. We already had the combine. You're going to have nothing but pro days coming up. So I think what we're going to try to do is have some people on that can give us a better insight into some of these rookie prospects coming up, because clearly a lot of people study those guys night and day. That's not our strong suit. We like to talk about it. We like to bring those people on to talk about it, but we don't dive that far into it. That's just the truth, guys.
You know, when they don't double book themselves with family events. Army.
But there's really nothing on the NFL calendar. March 30th to April 2nd is the annual league meeting down in Florida. So that's where we're going to see as far as where the competition committee voted on some of those rules we talked about on Thursday, where we had differing opinions on should a lower ranking team get a higher seed because of their record. Get a 14-3 Vikings was not able to host a not able to host a playoff game. Phil is of the mindset that win your division or shut up. So some differing opinions on that, and then you got all the way down through April 7th, and then you have the draft April 24th. So that'll be our next big mark on the wall. It's actually 30 days away. Exactly 30 days away is the draft. So we'll have some fun in between now and then. And yeah, man, I think that is predominantly it, fellas.
Yep.
Let's talk about anything good in people's lives. Always end the show with positivity, man. Raise everybody up. Anybody got some positive news they want to share with
I
us?
will be at opening day for the Nats on Thursday.
There you go. 2 days away.
I won't be here 3 days. I
I'm gonna
won't
miss
get here. It's Thursday.
I'm missing another Nats opening day. Nats they have a promising team.
You're looking at the future with this
I'm
team.
really excited to see James Wood though, more than anyone else.
He can hit.
I mean, CJ Abrams and James Wood. That's it. And Dylan Cruz, our LSU guy. So we got Dylan Cruz from LSU and Jaden Daniels from LSU. So those three guys right there. Dylan Cruz, James Wood, CJ Abrams.
I thought about going down to Western and Eastern, have a pro day here, and I got a friend whose kids in it. So I thought about it's open to go see. I was kind of wanting to go see.
Who's pro day?
Western Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, they got. I guess a lot of the schools here. I'll go there, but
see if you can find one of our scouts.
That's what I was hoping to find. I know that that Terrence Thompson is Tyrion Thompson is going to be I think he's draftable. So I think they'll be looking for him. I mean, Western's had a quarterback going each of the last 2 or 3 drafts, man. So I'm not, they'll be there to see some guys. Want to check them out. Vito's son might be there too. He's an Eastern guy.
Yep.
So
Ryan's still talking some hoops. He wants Cooper Flagg and Clayton here in DC.
Cooper Flagg staying, bro.
I don't know, Dev. Why?
Because he makes more money now. He's like an $8 million NIL. You can't make $8 million your rookie year.
Commercials.
You can't. You can't get $8 million your rookie year.
I mean, it's good. All these colleges are hiring general managers now.
Yeah,
they've never been doing that before. General managers.
Yeah,
just
now you got an NIL cap.
Player personnel.
14 million a year.
I love it, dude. I love it.
14, 15 a year.
A cap. I tell you what, a cap's probably the first good move for kind of balancing out this NIL.
Yeah, because it's lawless. It's lawless until.
I don't think no one's gotten over like 12 million. I think the only person that's got, I think the most money is Flojane Johnson, the LSU guard with girls basketball.
What I'm saying is, had they put a cap,
Paige Beckers is probably getting close.
I don't think she's more than Flojane. I think she's second, but she gets played more. And Cooper is like first in men's basketball, but I don't think he's.
But had they, so the whole point about making it equal is that smaller schools can compete with bigger schools.
Yeah.
But if let's say the cap is $12 million arbitrarily, a small school can't pay a kid $12 million. But if you made the cap at like 1 million, other schools can compete. But now that it's open like that, it doesn't help with small schools anymore. And
but it's like 12 million for the whole program.
But I think that once you hit your cap, there's still gonna be a lot of talented kids out there who are going to go to other schools.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'd like to see how it flushes out and what the NCAA does for like updating the bylaws and how they're going to manage it. That's what I'm interested.
They're working on it. They had to see how it would go without regulation first.
Yeah, I think it'll help work itself out. Tia, what's up, Tia? Better late than never. Good to see you as always. What's up, fellas in chat? Young squad looking good for the Nats. We have a closer in Ferrer. I'm telling you, I don't know much about the pitchers. I like Kelbert Ruiz as a catcher and Riley Adams, but give me Abrams, Bell, and
you guys played the show?
Dylan Cruz. Baseball? No. I played
it's usually free. This is the first year it's not. The Xbox deal with PlayStation ran out, so this year the only year that I would have to pay for the show, so I didn't get it. So I feel like how's baseball gonna be a new game every year besides a roster update? Like, what do you?
What's not a whole lot of changes except for people. Juan says, "See you Thursday. Go Gators." Hey, go Terps. Go Terps. Go Terps. I think Florida's going to win because they're a better team. But hey, it's going to be a good game, Juan. Best of luck to you.
I mean, look, if you look at all the upsets and near upsets, anything goes in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that's true.
We got to be by 5 white dudes 30 minutes from the house.
Damn, Louisville messed up one of my brackets, dude. Dre says, celebrating my grandson's 5th born day at Hyper Kids yesterday. Complete madness. That's why they call it Hyper Kids. It's like Sky Zone, Zava Zone, all those places, man. They just climb and go crazy, eat some pizza.
Uptown Dre, man. You got a lot of kids in that picture, man.
Grandbabies, man. Grandbabies.
Woo.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Jim Sleazy, I'm a local one elevator mechanic working a second shift. I only had one call tonight, $500 for taxes. You are winning, sir. One call, $500. Hey,
hold on. Elevator mechanic on second shift. Like, I'm trying to figure out how easy the job might be or hard if you actually got to do it.
Someone's got to be on shift, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously need an elevator mechanic.
Actually, more, I didn't calculate time and a half. Boom, 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 boom. There you go.
I got you, Jim Sleazy. I work for one of the big 3, and guess what? I ain't got to work for 2 weeks and get paid. So
there you go. So we have 2 Florida fans in the chat, which is crazy. Ryan and Juan are both Gators fans.
Good deal.
But they're also Commanders fans. Who'd have thunk it? Small world. Florida, they had that good run when the Joakim Noah and Al Harford. Yeah. Remember did they win it back to back? I can't remember.
Back to back. They went like 3 times in a row, didn't they?
They had a good squad. Joakim Noah and his sideways push of the shot. That stupid shot he has. He kind of throws it like this. Like not Grady style, but just kind of launches it.
Stole money from my Joakim Noah. Stole money from my Knicks, though. Stole some money there. He didn't do shit.
Yeah, Ryan nailed it. They can't run with fast offense. That's why they lost the Michigan game. It's just how it is, man. I agree, Ryan. I'm not disagreeing with you.
You gotta keep Maryland under 80, though. That's your goal. You gotta keep Maryland under 80. I mean, Colorado State showed you a formula. Just start beating on dudes.
Yep. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's been a great show. Appreciate you watching.
Have you seen the new Nats City Connect jersey came out?
Yes. You know what? I'll pull it up. It's so if you remember when we talked about the Wizards alternate uniforms, where it was like that weird colors, but they all meant something, right? Remember those images we talked about? They were black and teal and green. All these images here, I'll show you. They all mean something. So people might look at it and be
I will say this: a lot of people
don't know what it means.
A lot of people love that City Connect from last season. I didn't. I hated that color.
Just flowers and shit.
Here you go. So this is everything means something.
W. I know why they're going with it. I just don't like it. I like the curly W.
So you can see the capital right there, which is kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool.
I mean, that's a better version than the plain W.
Yeah, with the cherry blossoms. Under the bill, you have the city grid, also pretty cool under there. Then also have the city grid on the shirt, which is kind of cool. Interlocking DC receives a special 3D treatment, reference back to the block W worn by the 56 Senators. That's the original logo they came up with.
I always like the interlocking DC as a alternate logo.
Throwback. I never like it. I can't stand it holistically, but for a throwback, cool. City Dome, what does it say? City Dome on the block W. Yep, right there. And then the mosaic represents on the sleeves. So represents the diverse makeup of Washington, D.C. So that's the City Connect, man. I'm curious as to the color scheme, though. Why they couldn't do this and still keep the Nats scheme? Why almost like
you always gotta go with a different color?
I know it's almost like UNC blue on the hat. I don't know. It's just a little bit mixed, but
I didn't like. Everybody liked the cherry blossom jersey last year. Yeah. I didn't.
I'm getting a hat. I'm getting a hat. My wife and I are talking about we're getting a hat, so I like the hat.
Lucky for me, the Yankees don't change shit. So,
of course not. Dre says Randy Brewer and old man Horford still making triples. Dude, Horford's still in the league, bro. Still in the league.
Horford will be on the Nats with Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, that dude.
I'm the Wizards.
Juan got his City Connect. Okay, Juan probably got the whole get up. That's what Juan does, man.
I do kind of like the jersey. I ain't gonna front.
No curly
It's a
W.
City
Hey,
Connect, so they're only going to use it a couple times a year.
yeah, this is a one-time thing. They're still the curly W's. It's just
Why
a
don't the
special.
Washington Commanders do cool jerseys, man? We got the black ones, I guess. We asked for a decade.
Yeah.
I don't.
I have a question for you. Any non-black people outside of OB scoring record? Asking because I don't think anyone cares outside of DC.
I don't know
Hockey
any black
fans
people
do.
who watch hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey fans care.
Yeah, I don't care, but I mean, I care because like people I talk to are Washington sports fans. So for me to stay in a conversation, I kind of know, and I listen to like the local radios, so I know. But other than that, like no one has ever. I've never heard anyone bring up the hockey record, and they should. Honestly, that's a crazy record to break. By the way,
Here you go. We'll rock this one. We'll throw that.
Answer your question. No, I don't, Jim Sleazy. I don't know any non-black people who care. I guess everybody that cares about the OB score record is non-black though.
Yeah, I know a ton of people.
Hockey fans. Here's the thing: a lot of hockey
DC,
fans.
Do you know any black
lot of
fans
hockey
that care
fans
though?
don't want Obi to have the record because he's not Canadian, or for some reason hockey purists are all Canadian lovers, and when it's not a Canadian or an American, they'll accept an American if it's like a Gordie Howe, but Gordie Howe is Canadian too, so it really doesn't matter. They wanted a Canadian to hold the record, and Obi's Russian, and guess what? This is not a good time to be a Russian in the Western Hemisphere.
And
So
when he breaks it against the Penguins, it's going to be even sweeter. Shut up, Mason Crosby and
Sidney Crosby. Remember when it was supposed to be Sidney Crosby? Was
Mason Crosby.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Mason Crosby's a kicker, bro. Ain't he?
And listen, Cosby. Hockey's a niche sport. Not everyone likes hockey. DC's a hockey town, so it
helps when you've had a good team for a long time.
Yeah, that's just the way it is. And honestly, I wasn't a hockey fan.
To be honest with you, if you decide to become a hockey fan, you have to become a Caps fan. If you know the history of how, I have a friend of mine who's a diehard Boston Red Sox fan. Diehard. I mean, I'm talking about he lives for it. And when the Caps won the Stanley Cup, he says, y'all don't realize that the Caps winning the Stanley Cup is twice as significant as when the Sox broke the curse in 2004.
Sox.
Because he told you, he says, if any team had been cursed up to that point, it was the Capitals, because they had come so close so many times in the playoffs, and then something would happen. And it's very true. But I will say this: if you're not a hockey fan, get on board, become a Caps fan. Especially this year, the Caps are so good this year.
Yeah,
good. One of the top 2 teams in the league right now. They're number 1 in most power rankings.
There you go, Devontae Smith-Pelly, played for the Caps. There you go.
Caps have had a lot of black.
He was a
players
bruiser here too,
relative
man.
to other squads.
Yep.
But
So.
you have to appreciate that Ovechkin's done it as a two-way player.
Yeah.
Two-way players don't do what they exist in hockey. They don't score like he does, and he's less than 300 hits away from the all-time record for career checks and hits.
Yeah.
He's a physical player. He's not Gretzky, who was just speed and could deke like mad. Ovechkin did that, and he'd hit people. I remember when Crosby tried to check him, and Obi turned around and just waved at him. It was like, that's it?
And Jim, there's going to be a black hockey player who takes the league by storm and is going to be just nasty. And it's going to have an effect on hockey, and you're going to see, more and more people watching hockey than you ever before. The same thing would happen with NASCAR and like Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace is a great driver, but people follow him. Like it's gonna happen. Like it's gonna happen.
It didn't happen with Jerome McGinley, but he played in Calgary, so I guess that's a little too far out for Black Americans to actually watch.
Yeah.
But Jerome McGinley was a great player for the Flames for so many years. You had Grant Fuhrer, who was a goalie for the Oilers and the Blues and a couple other teams. You've had some great black hockey players over the years. I'm talking about like Hall of Fame caliber, but you need to have one in there. You need to have a black player in their prime in an American city, I think, for it really to kind of capture it.
Yeah, because a lot of them are Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But,
all right, guys.
So Orion Elias really wants you to check out the Fredericksburg Gnats because now they're the Fredericksburg Frogs.
Dude, I fuck those guys, dude. They used to be the Peanuts, which I used to go watch them because they lived across the street from my mom's house in Woodbridge, and they left, become Fredericksburg. But I'll check them out, man.
The jerseys are pretty dope.
Fredericksburg.
Yeah, PK Subban was that player. Bubba Wallace, not that guy. He can't finish races. Yeah, he does struggle to finish. He gets a lot of points for leading laps, but he does manage to peter out towards the end. He doesn't close out races well.
Fredericksburg Nationals, New Jerseys. That might take me some time.
Caps are a great organization with the jersey. The bright future beyond the great 8. I mean, it is.
I hope so. All right, we'll look at this very quickly. This is the Fredericksburg Nationals. This is what Ryan was talking about.
By the way, Steve, I was to ask you since you are.
Well, that's the blue. They have a green and white one.
I like that one.
That one's pretty sick.
That's a blue version of the
Fred Nats. There are no Savannah Bananas. I'll tell you that. Fredericksburg Nationals, OT Frogs, Funadors, de Fredericksburg, Fred Nats. I'm not sure.
I need a Vet City Hot Rods jerseys, man.
Look up the frog ones.
I need one of Vet City Hot Rods jerseys, bro.
Yeah. I don't know what a Fredericksburg Funador is.
Yeah, it's Fredericksburg Frogs. I think you're looking at the old jerseys.
Oh, these ones. Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. Those aren't bad. I like them. All right, guys. I think we do got to get out of here. One more thing. Oh, the Fredericksburg Frogs. Okay. Gotcha. Right. I didn't know that.
I got my I get my car straight piped Thursday. So
look at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be rolling down the hood, rumbling.
Look at you. Hey, Juan, I did not get into the lottery for the Savannah Bananas. We put it in for the lottery and we did not get selected. I don't know if you got selected, but we did not get selected. And they sold out quick. Savannah Bananas are awesome. They actually have a former Nationals player on the team. He went viral on TikTok, and now he plays for the Savannah Bananas, and they are fantastic. You know, in their contract, they have to do all the silly shit that they do on the field. They have to learn the TikTok dances. They have to learn all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the umpire is one of the best parts of the show too. The umpire looks like a stout Mills Lane. That was the boxing referee, bald head dude, stout. Yeah, that's what it looks like. All right, guys, for real, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much.
Watkins looks like she's seriously injured. Damn it. Well, good. She can take that. She can take the injury instead of Jaden.
That's not.
Who's injured?
Juju Watkins.
Oh, I think she sprained her ankle or some shit. It's in limping.
Actually, I shouldn't say that. I feel bad for
anybody. She's dope. She's dope. She's the cleanest dog. She's like better than Caitlin Clark. Like as a player, because she.
I'm just saying that between her and Jaden Daniels getting hurt, I'd much rather be her.
Ryan said you should buy a cutout by STP so you can shut it off and on.
I shut it off and on. Are you talking about the?
No, your exhaust. So your exhaust, like it goes like this.
We don't have
flap, and then you can just have the flap open and shut electronically.
Nah,
so you can have open exhaust or closed exhaust.
I also have what's called a 3-year warranty, and I don't want to fuck none of that up. So
Bazinga.
I got some rip cold packs that's sitting in the garage. I'm not putting on because it's gonna. So I'm gonna not put that on. I guess I just deal with the sound.
Yep. All right, guys, we got out of here. Thank you so much. We'll be back Thursday. Phil will be at opening day, so Devin and I will be back Thursday. Not sure what we're going to talk about, but we'll talk about something.
Y'all just gonna have to play all that AI of me talking about Paul Rudd to fill the void.
Maybe you'll send
maybe Paul Rudd will be on the show. Maybe we'll have him on.
Maybe you'll send us some videos.
It'll be a good time to have him on.
I wish. Paul Rudd, if you're listening, you're invited Thursday if you want to hang out.
This audio will be out.
I'll be off next 2 Thursdays. You have 2 opportunities.
You can catch this audio on all your podcast platforms in about the next 15 minutes. So if you want to catch a rerun, go watch it there or watch it on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell so you know when we go live every Monday and Thursday night, 8:35. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. And great season ahead of us. Some more giveaways. We'll do some more giveaways this year as well. So, all right, guys, we out of here. Peace.
Word to your mother.
We out.